Trojan family, what's up? Welcome back to another edition of the USC LAFB show. I'm your host, Ryan Dyrud. This is the LAFB Network. Thank you, as always, for making us a part of your day. Quick little update for you. 2 new USC Trojans players have announced their intention to enter the transfer portal when it opens on January 2nd. You have offensive lineman Makai Saina and also freshman safety Stephen Miller. Again, not impact guys yet. So, I mean, at least you're not seeing any starters go yet. But, there's some depth pieces that are now going to be looking for another program to take their talents to. When looking at, let's start with Saina, really just unfortunately could never stay healthy. He was a member of a 4-star recruit in the 2024 class, so certainly had some high upside out of the state of Texas, and there was some intention or some potential for him to kind of crack into that rotation in the interior, especially if anything, this was the year to do it with the injuries, and he just dealt with a lot of injuries himself, so really could never stay healthy throughout his tenure here, never played in a game, and so, hopefully he can get healthy and go find a program that will give him an opportunity to where he can play. When you just look at the offensive line depth, and I know this is a unit that still you want to see some upgrades going on, but you just look at the interior, right? Just the interior depth when you look at current players plus the incoming class. Willie Washer, true freshman in last year's class, in the 25 class. A lot of excitement about him. We didn't hear about him all this year, true freshman working, but when we talked to Coach Hansen, he brought his name up as a player to look out for that could potentially get playing time very soon. Micah Benuelos, I've heard his name kind of floated around as potentially to the portal. I haven't been able to confirm that. So if that happens, we'll tell you, but I'm not going to entertain just kind of Twitter fodder. Nothing official has happened. So as of now, we look at him as a good depth piece. Kalon Miller, obviously we know, played a lot this year. Erwin Tyomi, 6'4", 360. We'll see how he develops, but obviously has the body size if he's able to keep developing. Hayden Treader, 6'6", 320 from last year's 25 class from my state of Colorado. Played at Cherry Creek High School. He's a guy that got a couple reps here and there on some jumbo packages for the Trojans on the offense this year. So he's one that I fully expect to be in the mix to win a starting job next year, or at least be a very high impact depth piece. Killian O'Connor, we assume he'll be back. He's a redshirt junior, has another year of eligibility. You would assume he'll be back and likely be your starting center. Alani Noah, obviously, unless something changes, he's probably going to be your starting right guard. And then just look at the incoming class. Eason Taffa, elite interior out of Utah. Brett Kolage, we talked about him as a true freshman, having a true potential to win a starting job, whether it's at left guard or at center. Cannon Smith coming in. John Fafita, just a monster, huge body from Northern California. So, I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 interior guys that I just named, plus they might add some people from the transfer portal. So, nothing against Makai Saina. Unfortunately, couldn't stay healthy, but this yet again kind of comes down to a numbers game where I think the depth, just got lost in the watch, as Coach Rowe likes to say. And so, he'll look for another opportunity elsewhere. In that 24 class, just curious what any of you guys would think of that. So there are now 14 as of today. We'll see if any others enter, but as of today, there were 23 total commits in that class. It was this 18th ranked class. As of today, there are 14 remaining from that class. Now, I haven't looked through other teams and kind of how many players from each class stick all the way through. I think it's honestly, that's not a bad number, just considering this transfer portal NIL era. And when you look at how many actually in this class are having high impacts already, I mean, Cam Crawford, Marcellus Williams, Carlin Jones, Jade Abasiri, Desmond Stevens, keep going down the list here. Justin Tawanu'u started at right tackle this year. Braylon Conley, I know he hit the portal, but he had impact this year. I mentioned Jaden Treader. Jaden Walker obviously got more and more playing time. So if you can have, I think, a hit rate, you never like to see guys transfer, but they've actually hit on a lot of these guys who have played a lot of snaps this year and are going to play a lot of snaps next year, especially when you look at Crawford, Abasiri, Marcellus Williams. those are 3 bona fide starters, and then Desmond Stevens and Jaden Walker at linebacker. So, they're getting a lot of high-quality guys still. So I just don't want anyone to freak out when you're like, oh, man, only 14 left of the 23. I think that's kind of commonplace. Again, I'll do more research and kind of look at other classes around college football or specifically in the Big Ten. But there's only 22 starting spots. And so, gone are the days where you can have a class of 20, 30 guys and 15 of them never play, but they just kind of stay through the program and they're just depth pieces and get their degree. Those days are over because they can go, even if they can't go to a Power 4 school, they could go, Mountain West or the WAC or some other conference and become a starter and play there potentially. So I think that's still a decent hit rate if you can keep it. And I allude to that because I talked earlier today about this 35-person 26 class and all the naysayers like, oh, everyone's just going to transfer. And it's like, no matter what size you are, only half are probably going to make it all the way through. And so it doesn't really change if you have 35 or 25. Like if half make it all the way through and have impact, that was a winning class. We talk in the NFL all the time about draft classes and how you grade kind of a draft class. And we'll just call it, you have 7 picks. Obviously, if you're a Rams fan, you usually have a lot more than that. But if you can have like 3 impact players out of your entire draft, like that's a pretty successful draft. You look at some draft classes, and by the time the second contract goes around, the entire draft class is gone. Look at the Rams' last draft class that was up for contract. I think it was the 2021 class. Not a single player is still on the team. So recruiting in college football is obviously a little different, but if you can have an above 50% hit rate, in my opinion, again, I'll look more into it, I think you're doing okay in terms of developing and retaining. Stephen Miller, I don't want to say it's a surprise, but always when it's a true freshman, that's always a little bit bummer. You would hope that they could stick around longer and kind of see things through a little more. Again, don't know if this was his decision. He's from Georgia. Maybe wants to go get closer to home. Maybe just didn't feel like the opportunity was there or the development on his own or the NIL. I mean, I don't know exactly how it went down. Don't know if it was USC side saying, hey, look, we're bringing in 6 DBs. We're going to go get a portal DB for sure, maybe 2 or 3. When you look at them losing their 2 starting safeties in Kamari Ramsey and Bishop Fitzgerald and obviously Desmond Stevens and Kennedy Urlacher, but they'll probably still go get a high impact guy that can compete for that starting spot. So maybe they just said, hey, we're going to actually be adding more numbers than we can really take with you. When you look at, I talked about this when Braylon Conley entered, that was more obviously cornerback specific. But when you look at the safeties returning next year, so you got Christian Pierce, who's going to be pretty much your markered, sharpied in starter. Kennedy Urlacher showed he can start. We'll see how he continues to develop. Still love me some Marquise Gallegos. I think if he can continue developing, I mean, the way he plays, the limited amount of reps we saw, he plays like Talanoa Hufanga back when he was here at USC. Now he's with the Broncos. Just the way he kind of fires through, and Christian Pierce plays very similar. And Kennedy Urlacher. When you look at those 3 guys, those are hard hitting nose to the football safeties.
The best TV comes in many forms, from real life mysteries to blockbuster dramas, family favorites, and buzzworthy reality shows. Philo makes it easy to stream them all with one simple, affordable subscription. For just $33 a month, Philo offers more than 70 live channels, including favorites like AMC, A&E, MTV, Discovery, and Nickelodeon, plus on-demand TV like the entire AMC Plus library. Whatever the mood, there's always something new to uncover. Philo subscribers also get access to HBO Max Basic with ads and Discovery Plus at no extra cost, along with unlimited DVR that saves shows for up to a year. No long contracts, no complicated setup, just endless entertainment ready to stream anytime. Ready for a better way to bundle all the TV you love? Get started at philo.tv. That's PHILO.tv. Your next obsession is waiting.
If you're an HVAC technician and a call comes in, Grainger knows that you need a partner that helps you find the right product, fast and hassle-free. And you know that when the first problem of the day is a clanking blower motor, there's no need to break a sweat. With Granger's easy-to-use website and product details, you're confident you'll soon have everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
So he's developing. Isaiah Rubin got a lot of praise last year from Doug Belk about his development. We didn't see him at all this year, but a guy that could continue to develop out of Los Alamitos. Brandon Shepard, kind of a not lower priority, but not a big, scholarship guy, but someone in the room. And then D. Riddick, they've kind of moved from safety to be more that nickel corner, but obviously he can play safety if they want to move him back there. So the numbers really, you probably could have kept Miller around, but again, with 6 DBs coming in, we'll call 2 or 3 of those being safeties. I think Madden Riordan and Joshua Holland are your true kind of safeties of the 26 class. And then if they add a few in the portal, maybe that's what they were thinking is like, hey, the numbers just, you should go look closer. Or maybe it was just him wants to get closer to home. So those are your 2 right now that have entered, bringing the total up to, 6? So you got Brian Jackson, running back, DJ Jordan, these 2, Saina and Miller. And then you got, let me see here. I'm, of course, drawing a blank on. Oh, you got Gus Cordova. And there was one more. Bear with me. Braylon Conley. So, yeah, 6 total at the moment of your outgoing Trojans who will be headed to the portal. Again, the portal does not open officially till January 2nd. So if anyone's wondering, like, why are guys entering? Why are we not hearing about guys USC pursuing? That will not happen until that wild time from January 2nd till I believe the 16th. So that kind of 2-week period of mayhem is when then we'll start seeing them bringing guys in. So again, it won't be a massive portal class, but I expect, 12 to 15 guys to enter and be high impact potential day 1 starters. So those are 2 right now. Just wanted to give you a quick update on that. Let me know your thoughts. Any concern of these? Or is this more just par for the course, a numbers game in your eyes, kind of how I laid it down? So make sure to comment below. We always appreciate your comments. I'm trying to do better on replying to all of you guys. I want to reply to every comment in there. I do better some days than others, better some videos than others, but I'm going to keep working on that because I do truly appreciate I see all of them. I read all of them. So when you guys comment, it honestly means the world because that's, I'm talking to a camera. I'm talking to a computer screen. So it's a way for us to actually communicate a little bit. And so I do appreciate it. So hit that like and subscribe button. Become a member if you want to get discounts on merch like this or my Ava Lemon 2025 shirt. My guy Lemon got absolutely hosed today on the Big Ten award for the best receiver. I might do a video on that, breaking it down because I'm getting, Ohio State fans coming after me for me saying that Lemon absolutely should have won that award over Jeremiah Smith. So I might do a video on that and see how that goes. And then, recruiting wise, I'm not going to go down this road really bit, but I was going to do a video on kind of maybe some targets. I know there was some rumors out there, or not even rumors. Steve Wolfong said that, Jalen Lott, if Chris Henry Jr. signed with Oregon, Jalen Lott may look elsewhere instead of joining him in that class at Oregon. And he brought up USC just because USC was pursuing Jalen Lott back in the spring. It was Jalen Lott and Booby Feaster were kind of the 2. Well, since then, Lott has signed with Oregon, so that's done. He's officially in Oregon's class. And based on who I've talked to, I actually talked to someone last night, but USC is, I think, done with this 25 class as of now, or 26 class, as of now. So we could see them add someone late at that late signing period in February, just like last year. Remember they added AJ Tuatele and Jaden Ramos, the 2 signees in the February portion of signing day. So we could see that, but likely that would be like a under the radar, highly productive guy that was under recruited, not some splash 5-star name that they're going to have to shell out $1.5 million for. So I think the big splashy signings are done. I think they're extremely content with this class. Not just content, extremely excited and ecstatic for this class. And then if they add anyone else, it'll be more of that intermediate kind of, high end, low ceiling kind of guy like a Ramos or Tuatele who they could develop and go from there. So that's just that latest update on that. I was going to do a video on it, but I can get that done in a minute and let you guys know. So appreciate you as always. Everyone enjoy your evening. Be back all day tomorrow. You know how it goes. Appreciate you. Fight on. Hey, Trojan family, thank you so much for hanging out and watching the USC LAFB show. Before you go, let me tell you quickly about our friends over at Sleeper. Go right now, download the Sleeper app. It's the #1 sports app, not just for season-long fantasy, but they've got live pickers, they've got live stat updates, they've got a chat that you can chat with other users, plus the daily pick'em, which is a blast, or daily fantasy, whatever you want to call it. You go and pick 2 to 8 players across any sports. If you're talking USC, go choose Jade Mayav in his next matchup. Pick more or less passing yards, more or less touchdowns. You stack those, and you can win real money. When you go to make your first deposit, make sure you use our promo code USCLAFB. You're going to get a match deposit up to $100. Put in $100, you get $100 free to play with from Sleeper. Put in 10, they'll match you that $10. So now you're sitting at 20 to play with. But also right now, for any new users, no deposit required. You get $20 free entry. You can stack both. You can get the $20 for free. Go make a deposit. Use USC LAFB. And now you've got a bunch of free money to play with right there on the Sleeper app. Check it out, Trojan family. And when you do, tell them the guys at the USC LAFB sent you.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.